The financial world was stunned. Innovatech, a Silicon Valley icon, was moving its core operations to Manila. Headlines blared, analysts gaped, and competitors scrambled to understand why a tech giant would leave the heart of American innovation. This wasn't about outsourcing support. It was the nerve center: software development, strategic planning, the works. The press release spoke of global talent and efficiency, but few believed it. For decades, America led, others followed. Now that narrative was shattered. On TV, experts predicted disaster, doubting the Philippines' workforce, infrastructure, and security. But for me, Jonathan Hayes, CEO, this was no gamble. Years of data showed our Manila satellite office outperformed the US, faster, more creative, more cohesive. While US teams battled egos and politics, Manila's worked with unity and purpose. I made the call, despite fierce resistance from the board and media backlash. I'd glimpsed a new way of doing business, one built on something deeper than technical skill. I needed to see for myself what made this team so effective. So, I booked a flight to Manila, determined to understand their secret. This wasn't just a business move, it was a bet on a new model of success. I was risking my reputation, but I believed this was the future. The world watched, waiting for us to fail. But I was convinced the real story was just beginning. I needed to prove to my company and myself that this was the right path. The journey to Manila was more than a relocation, it was a leap into the unknown, and I was ready to find out what we'd been missing. The Palo Alto boardroom was thick with doubt. My executive team called the move insane. Handing over our crown jewels to Manila, Mark, my CTO, questioned the team's ability to handle high-level strategy, doubting their English for anything beyond call centers. Sarah, head of marketing, worried about communication gaps. Filipinos are too indirect, too polite. How will we meet deadlines? The team couldn't imagine success without the aggressive, competitive style they knew. I presented Manila's performance data. Higher completion rates, fewer bugs, better satisfaction. They dismissed it as a fluke, blinded by stereotypes. The meeting ended unresolved. I was alone, seen as reckless. "Go see for yourself, John," Mark said, resigned. "But don't say we didn't warn you." Their skepticism weighed on me as I boarded the flight. I was betting everything on a belief they called fantasy. The journey felt less like a business trip, more like a leap into uncertainty. I knew the risks, but I also knew what I'd seen in Manila. The old rules no longer applied. I was determined to prove there was a better way. The future of Innovatech, and maybe more, was on the line. I left behind doubt, carrying only conviction. Manila was waiting. Manila hit me with heat, chaos, and color. The city's traffic was wild, but as we entered Bonifacio Global City, everything changed. Skyscrapers, modern art, and bustling cafes. This was no backwater. Our new headquarters soared above a vibrant, world-class district. Inside, open workspaces and tech buzzed with energy. The team greeted me warmly, not with fear, but genuine pride. There was excitement, not formality. That evening, Ria, my local GM, took me to a lively food market. We shared stories and street food, connecting beyond business. My culture shock wasn't about poverty, it was about discovering a depth of human connection I'd never expected. My official welcome was heartfelt, not forced. The team applauded, offered local treats, and asked about my comfort. Respect was everywhere, but it felt warm, not stiff. Meetings began with kamustahan, personal check-ins that built rapport. At first I thought it was inefficient. Soon, I saw it built trust. Ria explained kapwa, seeing others as part of oneself. This wasn't just philosophy, it shaped teamwork and empathy. In Silicon Valley, colleagues were competitors. Here, they were extensions of each other. Small gestures, like Miguel making my coffee, were instinctive, not calculated. Professionalism here included genuine care. Helping wasn't about impressing the boss, it was about community. I realized their approach to business was inseparable from their humanity. Every interaction reinforced a sense of belonging. The office felt less like a workplace, more like a family. This was the foundation of their success. I was witnessing a new definition of leadership. The Filipino way was about connection, not just results, and it worked. My first strategy meeting was a revelation. I proposed an aggressive product launch timeline, expecting debate. Instead, David, the project manager, validated my vision, then gently suggested refining the plan. Perhaps we could explore the timeline a bit more, he said, inviting collaboration. Anna chimed in, offering ideas as suggestions, not criticisms. Their language was polite, indirect, but the feedback was clear. No egos, no confrontation, just collective problem solving. Ideas were improved together, not shot down. I didn't feel attacked, I felt supported. Their communication style fostered psychological safety. The team rebuilt my plan into something stronger, without a single raised voice. This wasn't weakness, it was strategic empathy. They protected the project and my reputation. The politeness my US team feared was actually a superpower. Here, business English was a tool for harmony, not combat. I saw innovation thrive in an environment of trust. This was a masterclass in true collaboration. Friday brought the Salo Salo, a communal meal where everyone shared homemade dishes. Hierarchies vanished, managers and interns ate side by side. Work talk faded, replaced by stories and laughter. I learned more about my team in 2 hours than months of reviews. The sense of belonging was palpable. This was more than a team, it was a family. The next day, we rebuilt a typhoon-damaged school library together. No corporate jargon, just shared purpose and hard work. This was Bayanihan, community in action. Their effectiveness at work came from values lived outside the office. Collaboration wasn't taught, it was lived. I saw why loyalty and low turnover were the norm. The Filipino team's strength was rooted in community. That was their secret. Crisis struck. A major security breach threatened millions of users. In Palo Alto, panic. In Manila, calm focus. Raya assembled the team, no blame, just action. Each member contributed solutions, coordinated seamlessly. Polite, respectful language kept stress in check. May I suggest we isolate the servers first. Collaboration, not conflict. Shame wasn't used to punish, but to unite responsibility. In 4 hours, the breach was patched, damage contained, and a communication plan launched. The team turned disaster into a showcase of competence. They didn't just fix the problem, they embodied the solution. Their unity was their greatest asset. After the crisis, even my US team was in awe. The Manila team's speed and grace had saved the company. I explained what I'd witnessed: relationships as investments, not distractions. Kapwa made success collective, not individual. Their indirect communication fostered honesty and creativity. We've been measuring the wrong things, I told my team. Leadership wasn't about being loudest, but most empathetic. The Manila team built consensus, nurtured community, and succeeded where we'd have failed. They didn't panic or blame, they united. My team finally saw the value in the Filipino approach. I arrived believing in the supremacy of the American model. But I learned business English's true power was in connection and harmony. The Filipino way wasn't weaker, just different, and often better. It was built for trust and resilience, not just short-term wins. Admitting this wasn't failure, it was growth. The future of leadership was clearer now. I was changed, and so was my vision for Innovatech. The lessons from Manila would shape everything to come. Why won't Americans admit Filipinos are the best in business English? We see language as a tool for orders and arguments. They see it as a bridge for trust. Filipino business English is strategic, empathetic, and designed for harmony. Their cultural values, pakikisama, pagalang, kapwa, are sophisticated business strategies. These values create trust, stability, and collaboration. Western companies struggle to match. The future belongs to those who build bridges, not walls. Filipino business culture is a blueprint for global leadership. Their mastery isn't just grammar, it's emotional intelligence. They use language to build consensus and psychological safety. A cohesive team always outperforms disconnected brilliance. My Manila journey proved we have much to learn. Admitting Filipino mastery isn't weakness, it's wisdom. The future of leadership is waiting in Manila.